2-3 minutes. I'm worried about this 10 minutes, but 2-3 minutes understanding this, because this has to, because my job is to pass it on to you people. So part of the annual planning for each business. So org review is a must. Org review is absolute must, right, for every business leader. It will assess organization's capability, identify potential leaders and develop their competency levels to support the faster execution. This question you asked me, right? So this is the purpose of that. All high courts and faces to watch are reviewed for this, and therefore they are engaged. They provide plan and systematic career management process to the high potential employees. We actually tell them that these are the possibilities for you in the next 2 to 3 years. This is how you will grow with the company, and we make sure that they grow. Right? Otherwise, many times you tell them, but you must have seen people never grow. Succession plans are there, but people are being replaced from outside. It doesn't happen anymore. Now, facilitate internal transfer and promotion within immersion, and obviously succession planning. So that's the purpose of this entire org review process. What does it really talk about? It talks about only these key 7 things. Every year we review our organization chart, current organization chart. Now, in your company, when was organization chart very recently reviewed? Or how often you review?
Quarterly basis.
Org chart.
Generally, not
Okay.
here. I mean, the companies I have worked with earlier, it was
Right.
quarterly basis.
Whatever. In current company, when was this last review? Organization chart. Company wide.
So, I mean, we may ask from the people from industry
Yeah,
here.
leave it.
Anurag ji, you would like to speak.
So in the month of August,
Every year you do it? Or last year it was done in August?
maybe every year.
It's
No
it's,
problem.
it's an annual process.
It's an annual process.
Very good. Any other
It's an annual process.
It's-
annual process? You review organization chart. What do you do that in that?
Which is job distribution, and whenever some new employees come and new jobs are distributed to them, then organization chart.
Right. So do you all sit together with business leader and say, is this chart looking right? Is our organization currently
No,
rightly structured?
only group heads are.
Group heads. I'm talking about slightly different. This is definitely good. I'm talking about a process where we review whether the organization chart is right for the organization to deliver on next 12 months priorities. Right? So that's how it is typically differentiated. What are the organization changes that we did since last review? So for this review, for next year's review also we promised that these are the organization changes that we are going to do. So next year those are going to be reviewed. Right? Then the organization planning chart, which is called as color me green chart, which is the key succession planning tool or a key planning tool. What are the key organizational issues for next 12 months? What are the issues that we are going to face for implementing the strategies, right? And those would typically appear as your issues over here. What is the proposed organization chart to be able to deliver on this? Are you proposing any changes? How are you going to do that? And then high potential employees, what is their development plan? How are you going to make them ready for the new jobs? Faces to watch, the list, reviewing the list, and the division demographics review. How are you doing on HR matrices? Right? And HR matrices session is happening in the afternoon, right?
Yeah,
So,
yes.
so typically that is okay. I think this is this one chart and then a couple of more charts and then we have. This is a very simple, again a very common sense chart that we use. Where we review each position at the top and the incumbent manager. Right? So let's say position is head of human resources. Incumbent manager is obviously an right? What is incumbent's year of service? So it will go in this box. So whatever 19 years service goes here. Incumbent years in current position. So whether it is 1 year, 2 year or 3 year. So why this is important for us? Because we need to know how long this person has been in this position. If it is 3 years or beyond, that's kind of little worry. If it is 1 year, 2 year, we are okay. Right? But then this means urgency. Incumbent's total compensation rate. Why? Because what is the amount that we are paying at this point of time, right, for this position? Then incumbent's performance rating, potential rating box, and the cooperation rating. Why cooperation? Because we have 7 divisions. We have multiple world areas, regions, multiple businesses, entities. Then it is extremely important to cooperate with each other. That primarily stands for teamwork. right? And it goes back into Emerson's history, because when Emerson, as a company when it started growing, primarily they were divisions, very strong division. They said, we will manage our business. As we move forward, then Leofard said, no, I want divisions to also interact, among themselves, within themselves, and leverage. So that's where this cooperation rating came.
Does Emerson use 360-degree for this?
We have a lot of such, like 360-degree feedback we have. We have a professional executive, assessment, which is again being rolled out by, Emerson Global. And it's very, very, intense process that we do. There's a feedback available, there are coaches available and things like that. Then we have replacements name and then degree of readiness, whether the person is ready now or person will be ready in a year's time, or it's a future replacement. Right? And then what is the compensation rate, so that we know whether the the replacement is effective or not.
The two blank columns,
Which one?
and that.
This one and this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just a blank, because here this will be a colored rating,
Okay.
right? And why this chart is called as color me green chart? Because it's yourself. You come and present to the top leader of the organization. And this chart tells me that I'm looking green. Right? Do something about me. Move me somewhere else. I have successes ready.
Ready to move.
Right? So this chart will look very robust when you have everywhere, now blue is our color, by the way, for meeting expectation, and green is exceeding expectation. So you have green, green, green. That means if we don't do anything about this person might leave.
Okay.
Right? So look at a situation. 3 years or 4 years in this job, everywhere green, consistently, have successes ready. If you don't move that person, this is a very clearly a retention risk of a high potential candidate. And this is how every high pot is being reviewed. And therefore, we don't see much attrition in that. Because they are very proactive. We know well in advance what's going to happen to that person. That's how it helps us. Succession planning. When people are consistently seen on this list, not being moved up, we start questioning, that position, whether they should have them or they are or not. Right? So that's how this is typically being used. And this is again done for the entire organization. The entire org planning is done like that. So those are stacked. So DEFA personally reviews more than 500 top executives, top people of the entire globe. One individually, all of these CMG charts. Based on that, you will take decision. Okay, this person moves to this world area or to this business and this type. So this process starts at the country level in January. Right? At the country level or a business level, it starts in January. So by the end of January, February, let's say we will be done at One India level. This will be presented to Asia Pacific. This will also be presented to India corporate. Right? Then it gets into the corporate review. And so by the time it reaches to the global level, it is already June, July timeframe, where DEFA and all those people, they review it. And then the next year changes would start happening. So therefore, our management changes happen in October. What was presented in the last org review, January org review, came through, and then those changes could happen. So there is this much consistency available in the entire process. Right? The amount of time this is spent on this by people, by human resource people, and by business leaders is phenomenal. It's fantastic. This is, by the way, not presented by HR leader. This is presented by the business leader. It's another interesting part. Okay, so we don't present it. It's business leader. So business leader has to be absolutely hands-on. Should be knowing the pulse of the organization. Should be knowing what's happening, and have vision about people. Right? So that's another key strategic piece. So our role is to be advising, to be consultant. What is looking robust? What is not looking robust? What does it mean when you don't have anybody in ready now category? What do we do next? Next 12 months? What should be the plan? What should be the strategy? We have to advise them. Right? Otherwise they will struggle. Right? So this is the cash of this company that we are managing, valuable resource. So how do we advise them? Some people are figuring out there to have balanced opinion to offer. You have some tests to offer. Run those tests. Get people over. Right? So very, very key program. And then we typically review the list of all high potential and faces to watch. What is the current position? What is the next recommended position? Whether it is recommended now or recommended within a year or when it is recommended, and in order to go there, what kind of program you have done or you'll be doing. That's the typical planning that you will give. And again next year this will be reviewed. So when I'm saying that somebody has to attend a global EMR leader program, next year I have to kind of go ahead and say that this person has attended this program last year. Right? So that's the commitment. And then again everything is linked to competencies as well. Competencies are then reviewed for each individual and then it rolls up into individual development plan. And this is the last chart that I want to perhaps talk about and stop. So the whole approach to talent management, how do we really do it? And how do we really convert into tangible things? Typically, we look at three major approaches to talent management. One is obviously identifying the talent and then we know the talent group and things like that. One is that formal training. So SPI is a sales training, sales excellence training and those kind of training. Career growth, what kind of career growth you are going to offer to people. And then through leadership development as well. This is based on clear goals, robust PMP and all of that. So all of this should help us, right, in two ways. One is how many people you have available for the jobs to be filled in from within. So last year's metrics, if you look at it, more than 50% positions were filled internally. Very robust metrics. More than 73% positions, senior management and leadership positions are filled within. 100% leadership positions are filled from within. That's the metric. So if your talent management program is not giving you internal fills, that's not a useful program. That's a useless program, isn't it? That's how we link it to the strategic outcome. Second, I have people in academy. I have people going on this development programs. What's happening to them? How many people we enrolled? How many people we retained? How many people actually got promoted? Because if I'm doing some talent management and development, is it really helping them to move, to grow? So that's how we typically measure this. Right? So this is the last chart I wanted to share. So a quick recap, in less than a minute. A very, very rigorous management process which is planned very, very well. There is a purpose behind it and which is executed very, very well, right, across the organization. That's the key. That's how we link business, goals, people, performance together. We have a constant eye. What's happening? Are we going wrong somewhere? Matrices are very robust, being reviewed on time, very proactively, and proactive actions are taken. And that's the reason we are, kind of past 130 years, we've been a very, very successful company. Right? Any questions? Quick questions, or maybe you can, if you have to get into another session, they can take up questions.